Hello and welcome to XP Overdrive. We are here with our first ever episode. My name is Gray with Gray Girl Games. I am on Twitch and YouTube, and I'm joined by my two co hosts.
Hi, I'm Alex. I go by 8 Baka on Twitch and all the socials and such. And as true to the name, I make 8-bit music on YouTube.
Hello, I'm Rain on all my socials as well. I go by Rain Plays Games on Twitch and YouTube. And yeah, I play a lot of horror and RPG games.
Great.
Yes.
Do you want to tell us a bit more about you?
Sure. I have been playing games ever since I was a wee little one. I
A wee little one.
a wee little tyke. I grew up watching. I have an older brother. I grew up watching him play video games. I would sit in his room, like on the floor for hours, as he would sit at his computer desk playing Diablo 2 and Max Payne, and I would just be like so enthralled. Like, these look so cool. I want to do this. So like when I got older, I started easier games, Pokemon Blue, which I still have and I still love, Zelda, Final Fantasy.
Easier games.
Yes. I mean, those are like the easier. It's easier than having to slow down time and dive through people and shoot. I'm still really bad at shooters, but yeah, I just like the love for games was just always there, and over the years, I have always just been really interested in video games, not just playing them, but like reading about them and their history, and I knew I wanted to get involved with video games at some point, somehow have a career connected to it. And eventually I started doing YouTube and now streaming on Twitch, and it's great. Now games are even more of my life, and I've never been happier.
Um, hi. I actually primarily do music. Um, I write for video games. Currently it's mostly just indie games, and I do game jams, which are super cool. If you don't know what game jams are, essentially, if you have friends to do it with, that's super cool because you already have that connection there. But you get together with a bunch of strangers that have applied for this game jam, either on the game jam's page or in like a Discord server or something, and you kind of concept together, and then you make a game in a space of time. And usually there's like a theme to a game jam. Like I did Wholesome Games as Wholesome Jam, which Wholesome Games are super lovely company. They host one I think every year, and they pick a theme, and you have to go along with that. This year it was community because uh, we all know what we've been going through the last 3 years, and their whole thing was let's bring together a community. Let's make a community game that's also wholesome. Um, so there's like a theme, and you have like a set amount of time, and you just make a game. You make some friends, make a game. So I love them. Um, there's some coming up that I'm very interested in. There's like a visual novel one that's coming up in September, which is Halloween based, and it's been going for a few years now, and it's really cool. But yeah, so I write for video games, I write for Twitch streamers, and pretty much anybody who needs music. Um, as said, I also do 8-bit music on YouTube. But on Twitch, I run a radio show on Tuesdays called Tuesday Radio, and we just listen to AP music. And I play a bunch of platformers, a bunch of Metroidvanias. I play horror games and little indie games.
It's pretty awesome. I love game jams.
Yeah, it is. That
Thank you.
sounds so cool.
It is cool. Um,
It is really cool.
yeah. For me, I started. For me, the games that I'm the old man of the group. Let's put it that way. But so I started on Atari was like the first thing I had. So but I really, of course, the NES when I got my own system, that's where it started. So I've always loved games, been obsessed with games. I mean, since a kid, the games I was obsessed with were things like the game called Dragon Spirit, which actually was a Dragon Ball game, but it got changed. So it's Dragon Power in the West. So that was like the game I was obsessed with. That and Zelda, all that type of stuff. And I played so many games. Like my And then now getting into like my Twitch, I stream horror games, which I love horror games. That's how I met a few of my friends now, and I got into horror because of Resident Evil. So it's one of my favorite game series of all time. I love horror games. I don't know why I like getting the crap scared out of me all the time though, but it's funny for everybody else. So, but and also for my YouTube, I stream or not stream, but I upload role playing games all the time. I love RPGs. It's one of my favorite type of series as well, like Final Fantasy VII, that type of stuff. So yeah, and I'm very much into game development, trying to create a game, hopefully. But you know, it's a slow process. But yeah, so I've loved games. Some of my friends call me the gaming encyclopedia. They gave me that name, I guess, because I know lots of random game facts, which I didn't even know I knew until this past year. But yeah, so that's pretty much me. I'm just a big gamer, content creator. I love all of that stuff.
For me, gaming was like not really something that was massively prevalent in my childhood. Um, my parents and such weren't very big gamers, but I did have an original Game Boy, and I just very distinctly remember just playing Super Mario Bros. And then I don't quite remember what other games I played until like a little bit later in life when I was playing actually my first Pokemon game, but it was I didn't know at the time because like I was like a kid. I didn't know, but it was Game Boy Advance, and it was a ROM hack kind of. And it was actually called Pokemon Black, incidentally. And it was like this Game Boy Advance cartridge just called Pokemon Black, and like the actual legitimate Pokemon Black is like I think Nintendo DS. So
I think so. Yeah.
and I didn't know it at the time, and like I haven't looked it up to see if it's like available like online or anything, or if like anybody else has played it on YouTube. But I remember that, and then Pokemon Leaf Green, and I had a Nintendo 64 at one point, and I was like, I was still a kid. I was maybe like 12 or something. I was younger than that. I was maybe like 10 or 11, and I don't remember. I think it might have been Pokemon Stadium, but it was one of the Pokemon games for N64, and I had no idea what was going on. I was in battle. I was pressing buttons. I had no idea what is going on here. Um, but for like the big thing that got me into gaming was my old stepdad. He was into gaming, but not kind of like the level that we are, where like it's like a viable part of our days. He was more so like, I like video games, and sometimes would play video games, and had like which was super cool to me at the time, had like a PS3 that like I wasn't really allowed to touch. And this makes me sound so young now that I'm just like, the PS3 was like the console. But no, he had a PS3, and I distinctly remember him playing the He-Man Masters of the Universe game and Resident Evil 6. So I like, those are the games that I just kind of remember, and I was so into it. And then I got into high school, and in the UK we start high school at like age 12. It's 12 through 16, and I was like 13 when I got in with my group of friends that I had throughout high school, and one of them mentioned Alice Madness Returns, and I was like, "What is this?" Like, I loved Alice in Wonderland, as like most kids my age had like at least a respect for Alice in Wonderland. Um, I was like, "What is this?" Me getting into my email phase. Yeah, I checked it out, and I was just like, "It's available on the PS3. I don't have one, but my stepdad does. Maybe if I beg him enough times to play his PS3, I'll be able to play this game." And I did, in fact, beg him enough times to use his PS3. And I remember I don't know. I don't know. Rain, if you've played Alice Madness Returns.
Oh yeah, I love that game.
Oh, great. So
That's why I
it's
bought a PS3. Was that game?
oh really?
Yeah. I'm a huge. Well, I played the original. Like, I'm a huge Alice fan.
Yeah, I had the originals too. Lovely. I love those games. Those are great games.
Oh, I grew up with like a terrible PC. Like, could
Oh,
barely run like a web browser. Um, so I did end up playing it, and I just distinctly remember it in the Hatter's domain, where there's the part where like there's all the crushers that are coming down. I was like stuck there for so long, because like me as like age 13, like I was like yes deep into being a musician, but my timing in video games atrocious. I was stuck there for so long, and I was like a big element of why I'm into like platformers and such now. Um, and I think I would be kind of doing a disservice to young me in saying that Guitar Hero wasn't also a big influence. Is yeah, Guitar Hero was great. And I remember when the Guitar Hero Nintendo DS came out, like the one with like the I don't want to say a sticker because you couldn't remove it, but like the design on the DS, like the original DS Lite or something, I was so like, oh my god, I need this.
I
Um,
didn't even know they had one
I
for the
I was
DS.
gonna
yeah,
say I didn't
yeah,
know that either. Oh
yeah. It
wow,
was like the
Huh.
DS Lite had very minimal things,
that's
but
insane.
that was one of them, and I was so pleased when I got that because like if anybody remembers Guitar Hero on DS wasn't great. Like there's like I do not know. I don't know how the screens withstood me like just like scraping this screen like a Guitar Hero, because it's like you just had to like, because they give you like a pick with it. It's like a guitar pick, but it has like you know like a digital drawing pen, like the wee like white tips on them. It's like got one of those on the bottom essentially. Um, and it's like the way you play is like you just kind of like scrape the screen or like swipe the screen. I had no clue how the DS withstood that, but it did.
Was- that was an interesting choice that they made.
Yeah, very much so. I can only imagine how that would work. Like, I mean, that's just yeah, that's it. Just makes you think though, because like there's a like games that used to do like different ports. How weird they made their games, especially for mobiles and things like that. That's crazy.
Mhm.
Yeah. That just makes me. It reminds me of Fatal Frame on the Wii U, and like
I've
that
never played it.
that's. I feel like that was an opportunity where like the adapting to a game console's hardware like made sense. In theory, I never had the Wii U, so I never played it. But like with that one, the Wii U like gamepad was your camera. So like if you were
Oh,
gonna fight the ghost, you had to pick up the thing and like put it to your face. So it was like really fun integration of the hardware, and I feel like that is like a good idea. Again, I never played it, so good idea in theory. I don't know how effective it was, but yeah, turning Guitar Hero on a DS sounds
Yeah,
like a weird idea.
a
see,
very
Maybe
I
don't do
odd
that.
choice. Yeah,
my Wii U is literally in my line of sight. I love the Wii U, but it did get very poor reception.
yeah, it
Um,
did.
It did, which I just feel like more game, because like the Final Fantasy, the Fatal Frame game, which never made it out of Japan except for like fans that like ported it themselves, but like hearing about their design and using the hardware to its a fuller extent, I feel like that was a smart move, but I feel like probably a lot of games on that platform didn't incorporate all the different functions.
Yeah,
mhm.
like I've only played a few of the Wii U games, and I did play the Fatal Frame Wii U. I streamed them at one
Oh,
point, but
Yeah.
yeah, like you remember that, and but of course, I was not using the actual hardware, but I used a PS4 controller. But I'm just going to say right here, right now, though, Like to me, Wii controls kind of suck. I don't like them that much. The games are good. I loved Fatal Frame. That was the main reason why I did it. Was
That was
because
why
I
we
want.
met.
What's that?
I have never
We
played.
met. We met with Fatal
Yeah,
Frame.
and
That's how we met on Twitch.
Yeah, that's how I met Gray on Twitch. She was playing Fatal Frame 2, I believe, and I jumped on her
Yeah.
channel and I'm like, hey, this is my favorite game series of all time. Like, and yeah, we hit it off. That's how we became friends.
I've
But,
never
Friendly
played.
friendship.
I've never
Oh,
played Fatal Frame.
My friend,
Oh.
you have to play
Fuck.
Fatal Frame. Yes.
You
I
must.
keep hearing that, but now that you've just said like the Wii U version has that mechanic, I'm just like, oh, maybe
So-
this is my reason to actually start
Well,
using my Wii U again.
The Wii U version that we talk about is I think the Maiden of Blackwater, which is actually on Steam now. But
Wait, is that no? Isn't that? It's
yeah.
the Mask of the Lunar Eclipse.
yeah, Lunar Eclipse is the one
That's on the Wii U.
Yeah,
the
that's on
Maiden of
the-
Blackwater's the Steam one. Yeah.
and now they ported that one, but the Lunar Eclipse is the one that's in Japanese only and hasn't been. I mean, maybe they'll bring it out, in English in some point, but it's already been ported by fans. So if you ever want to try that one, I recommend that one too. It kind of serves as a prequel to Fatal Frame 1. So
Oh, that's
Um,
right. Yeah.
yeah, so but you can always start with Fatal Frame 1 through 3, which are on the PS2.
Right.
But I recommend those. Those are those are probably some of the greatest horror games, I think, in my opinion, in all of gaming, in my point of view. That
I
and like
agree.
Silent Hill and like all of that. But yeah, Fatal Frame definitely, Baka, you definitely have to play.
See,
I
I'm
recommend.
so behind with I would say the classic horror games, because like I've just over the last couple of months finished the first Silent Hill game, and
Oh, nice.
that's like the only time I've ever played it. I haven't played any of the others, so
Oh,
slowly
fair.
catching up.
We've got to catch you up.
I know my horror experience comes from like indie horror games essentially.
Oh,
Which
indie
is,
horror games are great too.
Yeah, they
Yeah,
are.
I love them so much.
Oh yeah.
So like all the bigger names, like I still haven't played a Resident Evil game, but they are on my list. I'm gonna go through the series because one of my best friends, it's like their favorite horror game franchise.
Oh yeah. Resident
they were
Evil
just
mine,
like-
too.
Good one.
You have to play these games for me, and I was like, fine, I'll do
Yeah,
it.
you definitely do so. With Resident Evil, I would say definitely play them in order because there's a story there that continues. Like, it's like a continuation of each one, the
Yeah,
same
yeah.
characters, that type of thing. Fatal Frame,
Other
you
than
don't have to
7 and
necessarily.
8, right?
Yeah, well, yeah. Other than 7 and 8, necessarily, yeah,
Yeah.
they've been together. I don't know why, but yeah, those ones have been kind of a continuation for sure. But but the Resident Evil, those are games I definitely say start from part 1 because you'll appreciate like all especially the originals, like 2 and 3, the originals, and then play the remake of 2 and 3.
Okay.
Like I
Where-
would just say do it that way.
Where would you say to play games like the Revelations games, or like Zero or Code Veronica and such?
So let's see what
most are on Steam.
yeah.
Sorry.
I was just say they're on Steam, yeah, right.
No, I
Most-
mean like
most of
in
them.
the order.
Oh, you mean the order? Okay. I would say, well, 'cause Resident Evil 0 is a prequel to Resident Evil 1. So
right.
then-
Okay.
And then the Revelations and stuff. I'm not going to say for certain, but I think it's at least after RE6, or you can just do it maybe after maybe 5. I don't think 6 really should
Okay.
matter, but 6 gets a lot of hate. Though I personally do like 6, but that you can play the Revelations. I think probably after at least the first 3, because there are some characters in that are in the first 3 that you don't see after anymore in Resident Evil, which is quite odd. Bring back Jill Valentine, damn it! But
Bring back Jill Valentine. Yeah.
but
Heck
yeah,
yeah.
but yeah,
Most of my experience with Jill Valentine is in Dead by Daylight.
yeah, like Jill
Oh, that's
Valentine.
right. Yeah, yeah, yeah.
Oh yeah, she is in that, and it's funny because Jill Valentine is one of the OGs. She was in RE1 and 3, of course, but
Oh,
it's
was
like
she? I didn't see. My knowledge of 1 and 2 is pretty minimal. I have seen all of 3 because I had a friend a few years ago that they got me to essentially like sit and watch them as they like screen shared their PlayStation 4 to me as they were like speed running through 3.
Oh yeah.
And I was like, this is so cool. I love speed running. And I was like, have you ever timed yourself?
Oh yeah. I used to speed run too, but
Oh,
that was yeah. RE speed runs are the best.
they are. There are a couple of streamers that I follow who just do RE speedruns, and it's just I'm so impressed with people who speedrun.
Yeah.
Like, just the amount of difficulty, or what happened. All the skill and the detail of memorization. But like
Yeah.
the dude who beat Sekiro blindfolded,
Yes.
like
Yeah.
Yeah.
what?
Like how
People
That's
are
insane.
insane. It's amazing.
That is amazing. That is really cool. That I can't do. I will never try. Well, I'm not a speed runner, so I won't try it. I mean, I used to maybe do the speed runs like the old Resident Evils and like Fatal Frame games. They would reward you if you beat a game under a certain amount of time with like items and unlocks. But other than that, I couldn't do anything what they do. I commend them for that. That's insane. Blindfolded.
I I love speedrunning. Speedrunning's something that I do. Um, to kind of go on from like the blindfolded thing, there's a streamer I watch that generally does speedruns but with like a steering wheel. Like he did Alien Isolation as one. And it was so cool. I think he might have done Silent Hill as well. But like it's so cool cuz it's so just not what you would expect. Um for me, I am like super big in like the Metroidvania scene when it comes to speedrunning. Like Hollow Knight is the one that I speedrun, and actually just 2 days ago, the world record was broken by 1 second. 1 second it was broken by, and it was so unbelievable because there was the speedrunner posted about it on their Twitter, and it was so lovely in the threads just seeing all of like the other Hollow Knight speedrunners or like Hollow Knight content creators just like being like, this is amazing, like congratulations and such. And I was just like, this is very wholesome. I'm so happy that I chose this game as like my I guess hyper focus when it comes to speedrunning. Um, it was that, and for a time period, I was speedrunning Stardew Valley.
Wait, that's a
I
speedrunnable
was just
game?
gonna.
Yeah,
Is it?
it's a speedrunnable game.
Wow.
What?
When you said that, I just got this vision of Stardew Valley in my head, and I'm like, wait, huh?
This lovely
What?
chill game that you are encouraged to take your time with. No, but there's a few different speedruns. The one that I did was the mines. So you can either time yourself getting to level 50 in the mines or doing the whole thing and getting to 120. Um, for it's very hard actually. You can do it in like good time, but it's very hard because like after like level 40 in the mines is where it's generally recommended to go and like upgrade your pickaxe and such, and probably get like a better weapon. Because say like a rock in Stardew Valley in the mines takes like 2 hits or so to get rid of in like the first like 1 to 39 levels. In 40 I think it goes up to like 5 or 6. So like it's taking more of your time, but it's kind of difficult. It's quite difficult. Um there's of course like community center speedruns as well, and like challenges where it's like before the I think it was the 1.4 update came out. Um there was the beating it in year one, because there's some items that you can't get until year two unless they turn up at like the trader that comes in on like Fridays and Sundays. So but with that update there was like a little settings option that you can click when you first start your farm, where it's like um guarantee that you can finish in year one. But
Oh, okay.
the speedruns are so cool. But I will say, I do feel like a wee bit of a tryhard, cause like, um, I, I, I kind of min maxed Spring of Year One, unintentionally, And now whenever like I'm playing Stardew with friends, I have to kind of like just remember like they're just playing it casually. This is just a casual playthrough. Like not everybody wants to get like 50 to 100 strawberries and like spring 13th. So like there's me where it's like I'll come back like 10 days in, I'm just like, "Hi, I just made it level 5 fishing."
I didn't know that was, yeah, I didn't know that was able to be like speed runnable. Like I didn't know that. That's kind of
Yeah,
funny.
you can technically speedrun Animal Crossing as well.
I can
Which
believe
is
that because there's ways to kind of hack the time
yeah,
in
yeah,
Animal
yeah, yeah.
Crossing. Because I used to do it on the Wii. When I had my Wii, I used to skip the time ahead, and it would, or ahead or back, depending on what I wanted to do.
Yeah.
And yeah, I can believe, I can see that. I can see that because I did it a lot. I haven't played this Animal Crossing on the new one. I don't have a Switch, but I I've seen someone's, funny enough, I've seen someone speed run the co-op version of Portal 2.
Oh.
I never
He
beat
had,
that one. I want to.
yeah,
I've not
Portal
played
is great.
Portal.
Portal's fun. I have it still. I have the first two. And
Way back, I'd watch people play it, but I've never played it myself.
oh, it's really
It's
fun,
so
especially the
good.
Portal.
It's so fun.
It is very fun. It's
Portal's
just
great.
it's so different because instead of like just shooting a whole bunch of stuff, it's a puzzle game with a portal gun. It's just
Yeah,
like
yeah,
so
yeah.
simple, the puzzles, and it's so the co-op is even more fun, which is really cool. And but I watched someone speed run it where he had both PCs sitting beside him and he played both PCs with the co-op and did a speed run of it. He did it live on Twitch actually. This
So
was
he
years
was
ago.
doing both of the. Oh my god.
Yeah, he was doing both of the controls. He would control, one person with, and then he would switch
That's so
over to the other
crazy.
one. And yeah, it was really cool how he did it. And he was really precise at it. These like the way he was like certain steps he would take to go, you know what I mean? It was pretty cool. Like that was probably one of the coolest speed runs I've seen. Yeah, I'm like, wow, somebody can do that with co-op by themselves. It was pretty nuts. But
That's insane.
yeah, it was really cool, and I do recommend Portal. So if you ever do get a chance to get Portal, especially Portal 2, that has co-op, I definitely play. I still play Portal. So
Portal's
Have
so
either
good.
of you played The Messenger?
yes, I have it. You talking about the
Yes.
Ninja Gaiden type of
Oh.
game?
Yeah, you're a ninja.
Yes.
Yeah,
Oh
yeah, yeah.
yes,
It's
hard
a
ass game.
Metroidvania. Because of course it is. If I'm talking about it, um, that's another game that I want to learn a run for, and I haven't looked in probably about like a year and a half, like the speedrun.com leaderboard or anything, but like the speedruns aren't like super fast, so it gives me hope
Well,
that
yeah,
like
I can
I'd be
imagine
able
they're
to
not
run
super
it.
fast because the way you have to jump at a certain when you get further in the game, like you have to like jump through time and like jump like
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
it's
yeah.
crazy the puzzles you have to do. I used to watch somebody stream it on Twitch before I started playing it, and then like
Oh,
I
nice.
started getting into it, and I'm just like, what am I doing? Like I get my butt kicked in that game. I haven't played it in quite a while. I never finished it, but the game is yeah, I
You've
do
never
recommend it.
finished it?
I didn't. I never
Oh
finished.
my god, it's so good.
It is good though. I do love the game a lot. But yeah, I for some reason I stopped playing. I don't know, maybe it's because I was getting my butt kicked a lot. But it is really a really fun game, and I am going to get back into it at some point, and throw all the other games in my backlog. But yeah, game is great.
They they released DLC, and it makes me laugh every time because like you know you know how like animes have like a mandatory beach episode. So the DLC is like it's like quote unquote
Oh
like
wow.
Tiki Island. And I don't know what it is, but every time I see it, I'm just like, I feel like these devs very
Yeah,
much just gave us
I
a
love
beach
when they
episode.
do stuff like that though, and I love the throwbacks to a lot of these older games too. Because sometimes, like you don't have to always have like this
Oh
big
yeah,
graphical like thing. Like something as simple as the messengers, which looks like Ninja Gaiden on the P or not on the PS2, but on the NES. Like it's so cool, but it's so difficult.
yeah,
I
yeah,
like
yeah.
and yeah, so I love that game, and I also recommend if you haven't played Castlevania Symphony of the Night.
Yes, yes.
Ooh, on my list.
Oh,
I
so
recommend.
good.
So great.
Oh yeah, it's on there. Someday I'll get to it.
It's definitely it's labeled as one of the greatest games of all time for a reason.
Oh, yeah.
It's
Oh, I believe it.
oh yeah, it's actually labeled as one of the most secret filled games of all time too.
Yeah.
Because I think
Ooh.
there's like I mean, don't hold me to this, but I'm pretty sure the last time I remember like hearing about it was like over 200 secrets in it. Like it's
That's a
insane.
lot.
Yeah, there's a lot, and I mean I still play it to this day, and I still find new stuff all the time. So I haven't found all the secrets, but yeah,
Just-
when you get a chance, yeah, definitely play that one. Beautiful game. The music in that game alone is, well, that's the reason why they call it Symphony of the Night. But yeah, but the music in Symphony of the Night is beautiful. Like it's really awesome. Well, yeah, so
I will say, sort of sounds very emo for me, but probably my favorite song from like any Castlevania game is Castlevania 2: Simon's Quest.
yes,
Bloody Tears is such a good song, and I know it's now played like across the series, and I think the Netflix adaptation used it,
oh,
and it's so good.
in which the
And,
Netflix adaptation is really good, by the way.
I haven't
Yeah.
seen it.
Oh.
I don't have Netflix. So
Oh man.
there's so many things that I just haven't seen that are on Netflix.
What is the scariest game you've ever played?
Oh,
Alien.
Visage.
Well, so
Ooh.
okay, so really quick, Alien's a great game, so I agree with you on that one. And then,
Actually, I might change it to Visage.
well, okay, so that's going to be me because I was going to say Visage. And
We're all in like consensus
Yeah.
on that.
and here's the story why, because Gray knows this because I played Visage. It took me how many months to beat Visage when I streamed it?
Several.
It-
That's
I-
fair.
I
It
haven't
took
even
months.
beat it. I didn't even get very far in. I was like, this is the worst experience I have ever had.
Oh,
And like, of
it
course, I
is.
was streaming it as well, and I don't remember
Oh,
if
yeah.
I was streaming it for any particular like reason,
Oh,
other than
man.
just streaming it.
I,
But
yeah.
no, I don't even think I finished like one or two like chapters question mark of it because I was
Yeah,
like,
Lucy or Dolores
this
or-
is terrifying.
It is. I look, and I'll tell you
Yeah.
what, the story is wonderful. The stories in it are really good.
Oh,
Like, that's
yeah.
why I love horror games. But like when I played Visage, like I'll tell you, like Gray tell you, it took me months to beat it because I would quit mid game. Like I've been in midstream and I'd be like, okay, I'm not playing this anymore. I'm scared. I quit. Like it scared me that bad because there wasn't that many jump scares in it. It was just the atmosphere was horribly scary. And yeah, it was good. And like the most scariest one in my point of view was Dolores, the old lady.
Dolores
Like-
was the
Ooh, yeah.
one that I was doing.
Yeah,
when I
the way
stopped playing.
and I think the reason why Dolores was so good is because you could tell it was heavily inspired by PT. That
Yes.
one.
Oh,
Yes.
yeah.
And that's what made it so cool because that was heavily PT inspired and she was so freaky. And not only that, when I was playing it a few times, I had Dixper. So
Uh,
that didn't help
Can't
Sure,
either.
believe you had that on at the same time. I
Yeah.
could never.
Dude, I don't know either, but there's a lot of clips of me jumping and screaming from Visage. Like that game, it was brilliant. Now, granted, though the game is brilliant, the controls suck horribly.
I think that's the scariest part of that game. Are
Yes.
the controls.
Yeah.
absolutely.
So bad.
Yes.
To just quickly circle back, for those that don't know what Dixper is, it's a thing that streamers can connect to their stream and the game that they're playing, if it's compatible, and chat can go get boxes and edit the way that we play the game for a certain amount of time, or send us scares, or just effects on our screen, and it can significantly make things scarier.
Very.
Yeah,
It's
I
like,
can. Rain,
oh.
Rain, who always uses Dixper when I play games, always jump scaring me.
I mean, I kind of have to like balance out the universe as many times as people like to.
I've never jump scared you.
Well, no,
I
you-
haven't never used it on you.
I
And
know,
you
you never
always
have.
use it on me.
I know. I'm kind of a bully with it, but she never uses it on me. She's too sweet. But it's like I can't help it because it's like I kind of take it out because it's like everybody else bullies me with it. Like especially our friend Chica
Fair.
who used to do it all the time. and scare the mess out of me. And I'm just like, I need to get somebody back. I need to kind of balance it out a little bit. But now I feel bad because she really does never scare me on Dixper. Like
I would never do that to
everybody
someone
else
because
does.
I know how scary it is. Granted, I find it the funniest thing ever when people do it to
Oh,
me.
yeah.
I will scream and then immediately die laughing because
Oh
it's
yeah,
so funny.
the funniest thing that I think was the funniest scare that I think Gray ever had for me was you were playing, I think, Resident Evil 7, and I sent a cute scare to your screen. It was like the picture of like a cat, and it
Oh,
like
is the
flashed or
Hello
something.
Kitty?
Yeah, it was the Hello Kitty one. Yes, and that one was brilliant. Like that one, I die laughing every time I see that clip. But yeah,
Oh.
the Hello Kitty scare that was pretty cool.
That was a good one.
For me, it's our friend Violet. Violet is
Violet.
the sweetest person you will ever
sweetheart.
meet in your entire life. Like Violet. Also, I have to, every time I mention Violet to anybody, I also have to mention Pete, Violet's very, very precious elderly dog that just constantly has their tongue out at all times. Violet is very, very sweet, very lovely, will help anybody with everything, and it's Violet who gets me all the time.
Yeah, she bullied the hell out of us on Phasmo.
Yeah, she bullied.
Oh my gosh, yes. It was so funny.
It was fun.
I love her.
Yeah, she's sweet. It was fun. Yeah, that was definitely fun. Yeah, I agree. But yeah, this Visage was like the scariest. I will hands down say that was probably the scariest game I had to go through. It was to the point where I had a thing going on called the Visage Challenge, and I had something going. Yeah, the Visage Challenge. I was challenging people to play Visage, and I challenged a few people. One of them was a friend of ours, Initial D. We were having him play. And, we had him play Visage and a few other people. It was really fun because he doesn't play horror games. So I challenge people who don't play horror games to play that one first, or something on my list, and I like to get a reaction out of them because, you know, they tried to nickname me the King of Horror, which is untrue, but because that's all I play, and you know what I mean, on Twitch. So they're like, "What horror games should I play?" And I'm like, let me tell you this: play Visage, play that one. That'll get you.
It's like rubs hands together.
Oh yeah, but now the one that I'm playing now, Madison, that's up there with Visage.
I was watching somebody do like a run of it. I did like lurk into your stream as well, but I was watching somebody do a run of it, and I was like, nah, this is not a game that me, the baby.
Yeah. Now, I agree. Now, Madison does something for me that Visage didn't do, and that's make you turn around. Like when you're in Madison, for some reason, I have this urge to make sure I keep turning around. Because everything changes. It kind of has layers of fear in there too, because the background of the atmosphere, like the map changes sometimes when you move or you turn around or you use your camera, and that part right there is what makes it worse too. Is you have to use your camera for light sometimes.
Yeah.
You know
it's
what I mean?
like, oh my god, like I don't know if you guys remember the first Saw movie very well.
Yeah.
But there's a scene in it where, oh god, I forgot his name, but the younger guy that's in the bathroom. It's actually one of the directors of the movie. He's one of the directors of the movie.
Something
he also
Lynn,
I believe also played a part in the Conjuring or the Insidious movies, one of the two. But anyway, so there's a scene in it where like he's a photographer and he goes into his apartment and he can't turn on any of the lights. Nothing's coming on.
Exactly what
so
you're talking about.
He has to use the flash of his camera to see what's going on.
Yes.
And that's like when he gets like captured and such. And it's probably the best scene in the entire movie.
That part of that is actually in Visage. That when you get there's a part
it is.
Yeah, when you get a camera in Lucy's chapter, Lucy, you actually have to walk around in dark with a flash camera, and it my god, it is the
I
most.
almost quit the game.
Yeah, it makes you'll want to quit because it uses that to freak you out. Like there's definitely some scares in there when you actually because one of the bosses in there you actually have to use your camera. So like that whole thing from Saw is in Visage and it's creepy as all hell. Like
see
but like I said, that's why I love that. I love that game. And I do plan on going through Visage again, this time in VR at some
Oh
point.
God,
You are insane.
you are
Yeah.
a glutton for punishment.
I guess I am though, but here's the funny thing: I am legit a real bona fide chicken, though. Like I really am, like a bona fide
I
chicken. Like when
question
I'm
that because you
scared.
do a lot of things that I would like never do, and I also like love horror, and I look at the stuff that you do, and I'm just like hard pass.
Yeah, I know. I do. I'm outrageous with it. I don't know why, but it's crazy. Like I don't know. It's fun to do. I don't know. Maybe it's one of those things where you know, because like I said, I'm a legit chicken. I do get scared. Like I'm scared to play these games, but like it is fun to do. And then when you do get scared, it is kind of funny afterwards. Like it's one of those things where you're kind of scared of it, but you actually kind of enjoy being scared. Does that make sense?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, it totally
Like
does.
it-
There is
yeah,
there's
I do.
psychological, like there's a brain reaction of like that adrenaline rush.
Yeah, that's exactly what I think it is. Because like playing it, I look back every time I get scared and I jump, I laugh because it's hella funny because I know exactly what I did. I'm either like, oh, this or oh crap, I jump and it's like, yeah, it gets me every time. But it's really bad. Like I can't help it. Like I plan on getting a heart rate monitor at some point. So
A
we'll
friend of
incorporate that.
mine who streams at Cordelia Chase, she plays horror games every Friday, and she's like the most like she has like no fear. Like these horror games, they don't scare her, and I'm like, how do you do this?
Yeah, I don't know how
You're
they
not
do it.
human.
Yeah,
Not at
and
all.
she has a heart rate monitor, and honestly, like her heart rate goes up like when she like eats something, or like takes a drink or something. But like scary things on screen, nah, she's good. Like,
Wow.
What?
but so
Funny.
Gray recently played this, and I played it a while back. But Neverending Nightmares is also one that, like, for whatever reason, maybe it was just like the atmosphere of the game, and that it's very much like it's like a looping game, but also like things do still change.
Oh, that was the like the black and white game you were
Yeah,
playing recently.
yeah.
Yeah.
I don't know what it was about that. Maybe
That
it
was
was
really
like
cool.
those things that I just said, but that game was scary to me.
Yeah, I mean,
It was freaky.
yeah, some of those games can be hella scary. It doesn't have to be like super
It's
3D
the
or
side
first person.
scrollers. The side scrollers get me. Like Detention was
Yeah.
another very good one.
I love that
it's set
game.
in I think Taiwan when they're under martial law.
That's also a really good TV show. Speaking of
Yeah,
Netflix
they did.
adaptations.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh wow.
It's really
Well,
good.
funny enough, well, yeah, that's like, well, look at Little Nightmares. Like that game scares
Oh,
people
and
too.
love them.
Yeah, those are good games. Like, they don't have to always be like this first person, like, type of, scare fest. But like, yeah, Little Nightmares is a good one too. Side scrollers are really good. I love things like that. Me, for my preference, for some reason, I always love the first person or third person type of, or fixed camera type of horrors. I don't know why. I think maybe because of first person and like those type of things are like immersive.
I'm
And
very much a 2D or like a side scroller.
Yeah, I can play all of them, but I for some reason I guess my preferences is just those ones. I guess like it's really cool. Like one game I do plan on trying to beat is circling back to what Gray said with permadeath with Song of Horror.
Yes, I have that, and I've been
Yeah.
meaning to play it.
Yeah, I streamed that game and I think I've restarted every single time. I need to quit doing that because that's why I hate permadeath. Because if there's a character that I like and if they permadie, I'm going to reset and I'm going to be like, no, I don't want to lose that person. But yeah, you can. Yeah, and but Song of Horror is genuinely like difficult because like if you don't pay attention, you will definitely die. And it's like there was one part where the lady was supposed to climb out of the window to go to another part of the house to walk across this balcony, and I didn't know that there was a certain window you had to do it in. So instead of like like when games will tell you like, oh, I can't go out there, I'll probably fall and I'll die. Well, the game doesn't do that. She just climbs out the window and she fell right off the roof and died. And I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I mean? Like, yeah, like, so they don't tell you like, oh, I shouldn't jump out of the window because I can use my eyes to see that there's nothing there. But yeah, she just jumped right out of the window and she died. I'm like, no. Yeah. And so, yeah, you lose all your characters. It sucks, but it's a good game. I recommend that one too, because it is very scary.
I kind of
So-
like that, like the no hand holding. Like I wouldn't necessarily like playing it because permadeath, I hate that. Because I'm just not good at games. But like I love that idea. Like I would love to watch more of that because that sounds really cool. It'd be frustrating for me to play it, but like I love it like as a concept so much.
Yeah, it is a good concept. Like I love like permadeath. It makes you, well, of course, it makes you more careful. So you know what I mean. You don't want to, do something stupid and experiment too much. But it does suck sometimes because things like that when you die or you accidentally kill your character, it's like no. But
It's like
it is.
Until Dawn.
Oh
Yes!
There's definitely some characters in that where it's just like, yeah, you're okay to be dead.
Yeah, pretty much, yeah.
Emily,
Most of them, I was like,
Emily in the
Emily,
Yes,
that was the
Emily.
one.
Emily, yes.
But most of them, I was just like, oh no, like I know there's like a twist at the end and such, but like
Yeah.
that moment in the game where essentially you're placed in like a saw trap scenario.
yeah.
And,
Oh,
like,
yeah, I know what you're talking about. Yeah.
Like regardless of what you do, like regardless of which person you pick to like save, like one person like dies. And I didn't know this. Like while I was playing it on stream, I literally like called up like one of my best friends, just like, what do I do? How do I not do this? But they're just like, it doesn't matter which one you pick. I was like, what if? But it was a great
So
game.
good.
I will say, I know the Dark Pictures anthology have, I guess not necessarily had like the best reputation when it comes to their releases, because I know some people like just didn't like Man of Medan and didn't like Little Hope. I heard House of Ashes was good, but I haven't played it yet. But
Yeah, see, I've heard some things about them too. I haven't played any of those yet, though. Myself.
I think they're good. I would definitely say playing them with a co-op partner is a great way to go about it. Like
It's co-op?
yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
Like me and Violet haven't gotten very far into it, but Violet hasn't really played many horror games at all, and we both were like, well, we could play Man of Medan, because like I got it through like a humble bundle, and I think Violet probably already owned it, honestly, and so we started it, and it's very much a lot more entertaining with the play too, because you both see different perspectives, you both play as like a different character, and like at the start of the game, well, a little bit in, essentially, no, it's at the start of the game where you're the army characters are the navy characters, question mark, and I don't remember, but we're on a boat. Is that how that works? But like there's two characters and you play as like two different ones, and like towards like just the end of their segment, like one of those characters like dies to like a kid or something that has a knife, but like the other person that's playing sees like they have like a knife, and like they like go and stab something that's like coming to attack them. So like we don't know yet if it was like a case of like, oh, was there like an illusionary thing going on there where like that other character just like killed the other character, like, so it's very cool. And then like once you get into the main cast, um one of the characters like stays up on the boat during like the scene where there's like a dive happening, and the other character, the other player goes and does the dive. So like you both see different things, and I think that's super cool. Because in the single player, you see, you go down and do the dive, and like I think it switches over to like you go and do some stuff on the boat. So it's super cool because like you kind of have to communicate in a way.
That sounds pretty cool. Like I haven't got too far into any of those yet. I would like to though. There are, there's quite a lot, so it's going to take a while.
Oh yeah.
that for sure. I do, but yeah, like Until Dawn. Oh man, great game, 100%. Like Love that game. I still haven't went through all of the different scenarios in that game yet. I think I played it on stream. I beat it once and then never went back to it, which I should though, because that game is incredible.
So speaking of games that are on our lists, what games are you currently playing?
Ooh. So right now for me, since I upload to YouTube as well, like I'm playing East 9, Monstrum Nox. That
What's
is
that?
a great RPG. So that now all the East 9 games are all like self-contained stories, which I like RPGs like that. But it's hard to explain. Like this one is really cool. Like I guess you like start out, you have this curse and you each one is different. Like you're kind of like either some weird type of like your character aesthetic, like one of the character aesthetics, the chapter I just did is called the White Cat. So she literally is like kind of part cat. She has cat ears, cat tail, that type of thing. And then one of them's called Doll, which her body parts, like her arms and limbs, are like a doll type of deal. And you have to
That's
fight these
terrifying.
monsters. Yeah,
Love it.
it is kind of it is a little creepy on her bit. But it's really cool because like you get your party members instantly, right? And you have to go to this place called the Monstrum Nox or something like that. It's like this alternate like reality, and you have to fight these monsters in order to keep like your Nox down. And if you don't, they like take over. They come into like the real world type of thing. But it's a really fun game. It's kind of it's action combat, so there is no like random encounters or like that type of thing. Which I have a hell of a like gripe with random encounters, especially nowadays. Like I don't like random encounters in RPG games anymore. But that's a fun one. I do have those up on my YouTube, and then there's Shadow Hearts, which I don't know if you've heard of Shadow Hearts at all, but there's 3 Shadow Hearts on the PS2, and I'm going through the first one right now. And the game is really fun. It takes place back in like 1890, and it's really a weird mix of reality because it takes place in 1890 and they have cell phones. So go figure. But it takes place in China in the 1890s, and you fight it's a cool concept. You fight kind of like these ancient gods and stuff like that, and there's like this magician who's trying to like bring like demons to the world to destroy China pretty much. And it's kind of, and the main character is a jerk. If you ever watch it, he's really a jerk. It's got some really bad innuendo in it, and it's kind of creepy, but it's a good game. And I didn't know this, but there was a prequel. There's a game. These games, Shadow Hearts, are a sequel to a game on the PS1. I don't know if you guys ever heard of. I think it was PS1, but it's called Kudelka. I don't know if you
Oh.
guys ever heard of that, but
No.
it's a pretty cool game too. It's kind of like Shadow Hearts is kind of more. The first one is kind of more. The aesthetic is like, since I said the 1890s, it's kind of more of a horror-ish, like kind of horror, kind of, if that makes sense.
Okay.
But it's really fun. I would say check it out. I do have it on the YouTube channel, but it's really fun. Those are the 2 games I'm currently playing right now. Outside of that, it's mostly like Dying Light 2 because I still haven't finished that.
Oh.
And which I did play on stream once, but I love the Dying Light games. Probably some of the best zombie games I've ever played. Like I adore Dying Light games. So yeah, those are the two I'm doing, and then the one offline. Those are the games I'm currently playing right now.
What about you, Gray?
I was playing Final Fantasy IX for the first time, but speaking of intolerable main characters, I stepped away. We'll see if I ever go back. So instead, on YouTube, I am playing Alien Isolation, and I'm streaming Resident Evil 4 on Twitch, which is really fun. But oh my god, Alien Isolation! I have this on novice mode because I knew it was going to be really scary. I was hoping that novice mode, it would be like a walking simulator. No, I am getting so scared by that game. I am literally having to take breaks and like walk away because my heart is pounding and I'm like so scared. I have to like pause the game and just like have breathers. The atmosphere is so intense. And like I've watched people play this on nightmare mode and be like totally fine, not scared, and I'm just like ready to die.
Oh yeah, I know. I've been watching your video game plays. Is oh, it's so cute. I love it. It's awesome because like I said, I feel that anxiety. I feel that fear. Like yeah, just be thankful that you don't have that setting like we were talking about before. That the microphone thing that
Oh,
you
the
Oh my
use.
Xbox
god, no, I
Connect
would
stuff.
never.
Oh
Yeah,
god.
that would.
Mm-mm.
I couldn't do
Mm-mm.
it.
It's too much. Even in baby mode, it's still like,
Yeah,
oh god.
I can.
I played 4 hours today and I was just like, I need to curl up somewhere and just have like, I don't know, like a nap and cry.
And I'm the one that said I'm going to do it in VR at some point.
You're insane. I mean,
Yeah.
I'm gonna watch you play it in VR because that sounds amazing, but like, Jesus.
Yeah, I know. I don't know what I'm thinking. It's like, oh yeah, let's do this and let's try to give yourself a heart attack. Like, yeah, I know, because that game is horrifying. It's like I said, I don't know. I can't help it.
Baka, what are you playing?
So currently, which is a series going on, is Danganronpa Trigger Happy Havoc, which is my first time through. I've never really had any I guess like spoilers or anything for the series, which is amazing. Given that it's like a relatively like popular series amongst like generally like the anime community and like similar communities to like Undertale and such. So my god, that game! I've done like 3 streams of it. 4 people have died. One of them I was so sad about, because like the concept is you're going to this high school, and like all of the students that go to this high school are like exceptional, whatever it is that they've been drafted for like one of them is like ultimate baseball player, one of them's like ultimate like coder, or ultimate pop star is one. And you're just an average person, because like I think it's like one average person gets like can win access essentially. And like you're just there and you're just like, I'm painfully average, I am like the averagest amongst average people. And like, so everyone has like some kind of personality, and it's very charming. But then you meet it gets really weird to like from the get-go. But so you enter the school, and it seems relatively normal, but there's like nobody there, there's like no other students there, and you're just like, uh like, am I in the right part? Like that kind of thing. And then you kind of just pass out. And then you wake up again, and like you're still in the school, but like you wake up in like a classroom, and like you exit the classroom, and all like the windows are like bolted shut, like there's no like view of the outside, like you can't leave and such. And you're told to like go to I think it was either the main room or like the gym or something, I don't remember. And that's when you meet everybody. And then you meet Monokuma, who is a bear. He's just a little bear. And he's kind of like your only real kind of communication with somebody who knows what's going on. Like, for all we know, he's behind all of this, but also this is a talking bear, and we're not really sure what's going on. But there's like a set rules, but they're like, you all like will never leave this school. Like you can just live out your days here, you're gonna be catered for, this is great. But like everybody's just like, what? Excuse me, pardon me, what is this talking bear saying? um so like it starts getting real weird. But essentially, like, you all have your dorms, you're all gonna get catered for and such, but the only way that you can leave this school is if you kill another student, and the other students like don't suss out that it's you that's killed the student, because then you will be like quote unquote blackened. But the catch is that like there's an investigation period when at least 2 people, I think 2 or 3 people, find a body. There's an investigation period, and then you you have like a court trial. um, so like,
So is this
and
mafia?
Yeah.
there's like a court trial, but if
Wow.
the other students guess the wrong person, then all of the students besides the one who committed the murder will be eliminated.
Kind of like a reverse clue.
Yes. Um, and I don't necessarily know much past what I've played, but God, that it's wild. It's wild so far. And the first death really hurt because like we were like gaining like a romantic connection with one of these characters, and like apparently we went to like middle school or something together, and like we knew who it was, but we didn't really talk because like they were like a popular kid. Um, and then they die, and I like I had to like take a second on stream. I was just like, what? Like I like me here, sucker for a romantic subplot in a video game. I was like, this is great. In my murderous game, there was one little bit of hope. No. This game's motif is that they want to make you feel as much quote unquote despair as possible. And I'm like, oh, that really did. Thank you so much.
Oh,
And right after that, another character dies because we all like convene in like the gym. And one of the characters is like, fuck this, and like I think like kicks the bear or something. And then the bear is just like, you just broke a rule, like because the one of the rules is like no violence towards Monokuma, who's the bear. And she, God, they really do just kill her off right like that. And then of course like
oof.
the death of the student who like actually committed the murder is like not very long after. And it was like I think a couple more hours or so into yesterday's stream for it that like another murder happened, and I was so sad because it was another character where I was just like, you are probably the most precious being left here. Like I simply love you. I want no harm to come to you. And then it happened. I was like, wow,
Ah,
I really need to stop liking characters. Um it's
that
great so
reminds.
far. A lot of reading. It's very like
Mm,
very much kind of like a visual novel esque approach to it. But you still walk around and such. But like it's very much like a lot of reading. Um yeah.
yeah.
And like on a like complete 180 of that, the other game that I've been playing is Elden Ring. I
Oh
like just
yeah.
just
Yeah.
started Elden Ring like a
Let me
week
tell you
ago or
something,
something,
sir.
and I've just beaten
Uh,
like Market. I've just beaten Market,
how did
and
you like
I've
that?
like
How
um
did you...
see
Listen.
I like Souls games and I like Souls likes, but you never really do get used to
Oh
sometimes a
yeah.
grind of bosses.
Well, that's funny because Elden Ring was my first Souls type
Oh
game of any
really?
kind. Yeah, and I loved it. Like I'm going to go back and play all the other ones now. Like I loved it because the
Bloodborne.
the game. I love the fact that the game does not hold your hand and you can go wherever you want to
Yes.
go. There's world bosses everywhere. Like you're just walking somewhere and a boss just jumps out at you somewhere.
Yeah.
It's like
Yeah. It's like,
I
oh my
love it.
god. So like in Limgrave, which is like the first like area that you get to like explore.
The Tree
Um
Sentinel.
sorry?
Oh, I thought you meant the Tree Sentinel.
No, Limgrave. It's like once you
Oh, I
like
know what you're
leave
talking
that
about.
weed tutorial bit, and then it's like
Ah,
that
okay.
first area. Um like I think to like the right of that there's like a wee kind of like watery area. Um which is kind of a little bit swampy, but like so I was just minding my own business. Just walking through there, and then I was like, huh, I feel brave. I can go kill some enemies. Go like let's go get some oh god, what are they called? I think they're called ruins. They call them souls in other games. Um and there was like this like just kind of horde of like soldiers that were just in one little area on this like little lake, and me maybe say about 50 feet away, we'll say, uh, and then a dragon. Just a dragon just comes and swoops down and takes them. I have never ran away from something as quick in my entire life. I was like, I'm just a baby. I don't need to fight this dragon right now. And I still haven't. I'm running around this castle area just now.
Yeah, that game is good for that. Like the dragon part, there's another place. Just wait till you get further. There's another dragon that's
Oh,
going to scare the absolute
oh
crap
no.
out of you. No spoilers, but yeah,
Oh no.
I went through that entire game on my channel, and man, it was so fun. Like
Yeah, on your YouTube.
frust-
Yeah.
ooh, frustrating is I don't know what. Like it's I mean they're supposed to be frustrating apparently, but the like because in my videos like I had to put like death montages in there because I died so many times. Like it was because it's insane. But yeah, wait till you get further down. There's another dragon encounter you'll see that's gonna you're not gonna see it coming. It's gonna scare the crap out of you. Scare the crap out of me anyway. And yeah, that congratulations for you playing that though. I love that game.
Like
That game is awesome.
to speak of, we spoke about Violet earlier on. Violet literally gifted me that just one day because I was talking about it with like another one of our friends, and I was just like, I wanted to play it because like, one of their friends, was like hyper fixating on Elden Ring. And I was just like, God, I want to be friends with them because they're like one of your friends. Because like I don't know if you guys do that. Like the friends of your friends, you just want to be their friends. Like
Oh yeah,
I don't know.
for
That's,
sure.
yeah. And Violet gifted me it, and I was just like, "What are you doing, Violet? That's like that's like a $60 game." Violet was like, "Oh, actually,
Yeah.
it was the deluxe edition." I was just like, "Violet, that is an $80 game. What are you doing?" Violet's just like, "You can't stop me from loving you."
Right.
Like,
Well, that was very. Well,
how
yeah, she's
dare
definitely a
you.
sweetheart.
Violet
She's a sweetheart.
is very, very lovely. Violet's given
Very
me a bunch
sweet.
of
Love
games.
Violet.
Yeah, I love her. She's cool.
There's a
I
bunch of games that Violet's gifted me.
yeah,
think there's some
I've gotten
horror
gifted
games on
quite a
that
few.
list as
It's
well.
cool to get gifted a game when you really want it and you're not expecting it. You're like, what the?
Yeah.
Yeah, I've especially I've gotten quite a few of them as well. And oh, I forgot what I was gonna say. Oh, I do have another two more questions, two final questions for you guys all. But what are you excited to play?
Ooh, I my Steam wishlist grows by the day, but so with being kind of somebody that is very very uh like friends with a lot of indie devs, and I keep an eye on it, and I do some showcases and such. My Steam list grows a lot, but I've seen a lot of games that it pains me because they're not going to be out for a few years because they're still in development, and these are the ones that are on my wish list, or on my list for just now. So the obvious one, because I've mentioned Hollow Knight, is Silksong. We do now know that it's gonna be out within the next year because it came on Xbox's showcase. That's just went like a month ago. And Xbox put out a statement saying that every game that was shown will be out within a year, and it's going to be day one on Game Pass. So we now have a date. We've been waiting for this since I think Nintendo's E3 showcase from 2019 or 2020, one of the two. Of course we like knew about it prior to that, but we've been waiting for years. But Team Cherry, I love them so much, but they don't communicate anything about their development process. So we've all been like, huh, we're gonna get this. Wait, it's coming, please. So I'm very very excited for Silksong, and my best performing videos on YouTube are my Hollow Knight covers, and I had somebody in my comment section, this is a while ago, asking like, am I gonna cover the Silksong soundtrack when it comes out, and like my response to that is yes, once I've done my first run, because then I like to have some context behind the songs that I cover. Like I've done songs where like I haven't had context and I just haven't really enjoyed it as much, but like I'm gonna do that. I did the first two sample songs, Bone Bottom and Lace, and Lace to this day is my best performing video, and I will absolutely be doing it because Christopher Larkin is an incredibly underrated composer.
Yeah, well, you definitely have great music, so
Thank you. One that I think, actually, a couple of these I think you guys were probably interested in. Specifically, you, Rain, for this, Lies of P. Essentially,
oh
yes,
oh yes, I know what you're talking.
yes, it's like you are Pinocchio, but like as
Yes.
if it's in like a Dark Souls game.
yeah,
And the devs seem like very lovely people from what I've like spoke to with them. I'm very excited for that.
that sounds so good.
One that has been on a lot of people's wish lists, Scorn.
Oh
Scorn.
yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I've been waiting on that for a while too. Yeah.
You can pre-download it on Xbox now. But of course you can't access this because it's not going to be out until October. But we do have a release date in October. We waited for a very long time.
You know, yes. How long we wait? Years, man. Oh my
Years.
gosh.
We've been waiting years for that.
That's gonna be fun.
I'll come back to horror for my last pick, but this one sounds for you nerds out there. So there's a Lord of the Rings game coming out, but it's through the perspective of Gollum.
Yes.
I've heard about this. Yes.
Yes,
Excited.
Gollum. That is gonna be cool.
And I believe you know how on Steam, it's like they have like a coming soon, as their instead of like the add to card or such like that. I believe the one for that for the Lord of the Rings game is lurking until the time is right or something, and I'm just like, that's hello. I love that.
Yeah. Yeah.
And,
That's gonna be cool.
This last one, if you haven't seen it, I implore you, if you are cool with horror, Choo Choo Charles.
Oh my God,
Yes.
I will not be playing that, but I'll be watching you
I'm
guys
not sure.
play
I
it.
might play it. It looks so funny. I will.
Essentially, like, of course, there's like other dangers around, but you are somebody who is trying to escape Thomas the Tank Engine, but like give it to like Junji Ito, you know?
Yeah, that's funny. Yeah, I've seen. Yeah, that looks like it's going to be really awesome. Like one of those games. It's like how ridiculous they made something like that, but that's going to be so fun. I can't wait for that one.
I love them. Whoever
cool.
comes up with these concepts, I would like a word, but mostly this is out of all of my love. What is wrong with you?
Right.
Where are you getting these ideas? I need to know.
Well, that's almost like the Siren Head games. Like
Yes.
those were actually really popular for some reason. But yeah.
I
Those are-
recently watched somebody play it on YouTube, and
Yeah.
I believe he went into like lore behind it and such, and it was actually very interesting how much they put into this game. And I believe one of the Siren Head games is free on Steam.
Oh, I'll have to check it out because I've never played one. I wanted to though.
Right.
I might have to check that out. Let me see. I think circling back really quick when you said the Golem game coming out, which that one is something I'm looking forward to. I recently within this past year, probably within the past like couple of months, I binged watched all of the Lord of the Ring movies because I've never seen them before.
You never seen them?
They're
No.
so good.
Yeah,
Oh my
they were
God.
awesome. They were awesome, by the way. I am now a Lord of the Rings fan, so
Yeah.
that was
Sorry, I love the books and
Yeah.
I
Yes,
love the
yes.
movies.
The books
of
are
the Lord of the Rings,
incredible.
the movies
Yeah.
of
incredible.
the other movies.
And when they came out, I was when I was growing up, I was a little bit of a different child, so like I didn't really know about them. And then when the movies came out back then, I was a little old, and I was just like, "Who watches that crap?" Like, you know what I mean? I was like, "Whatever."
It was me.
But,
I was the one who watched
Yeah,
them.
Yep.
yeah.
Same.
I was so different.
Legolas was my prom date.
Yes.
In high school.
Yeah. And I was so different, so I was just like, I'm too old for this stuff. I'm too cool for this, whatever. But I regret it. I regret it because now that I watched it, I love the movies. I loved it. I love Lord of the Rings. And the other game also really quick is Final Fantasy VII Remake Part 2.
Yes.
So and let me tell you, I'm a huge Final Fantasy nerd and I love Final Fantasy VII and I'm super excited for this, but I am so pissed that they are doing episodic. But
that's why, like, I do not
it.
support the remake at all.
Oh, really?
Because it is. Because to me, it is just a money grab.
It is.
Like, they're adding stuff, and they're making it episodic and all that, and I'm just like, it's just money.
Yeah.
You're just milking it for the money, and that bugs me.
They are.
So yeah, I don't touch the remake.
I
and
100%. I 100% agree with you. They are doing it for the money. Now, granted, it's only 3 parts. It's going to be only a 3-part episodic remake.
Okay, Star Wars.
But I agree though. I really don't care about adding all this extra crap into it. I would have loved to have a remake, maybe a little bit of extra stuff, but I would have just loved to have a full game. I would have waited quite a few more years just for an actual full game. Like, you know, that
I would
that's
too.
just me.
Like, I would actually play it if it was just
because
here's just a thing like remastered. Yeah, with some extra stuff. But the second I heard it was episodic, I was like, I'm out.
Because the part of the part 1, it was so good, and then when you left, like, oh crap, you know, because on the original one where it left off at, you could, you know, of course you can play more in the original, and now you're left with like, oh, so I'm stuck here to continue the story in just another few years, and that sucks. But I'm looking forward to it because I love it, and I'm just that type of person who's going to succumb to being a moron and paying for it because I want to play it. But yeah, it does suck that it's episodic. I do not like it at all. And I
playing full price for 1/3 of a game, like, what?
Yeah, exactly. It's pretty much 1/3 of the game, and I do not get it, especially for how long Final Fantasy VII in general is. How are they going to do it in just 3 chapters? I don't know. So it makes me wonder if they're going to cut it, but I'm still excited to play it because, you know, like I said, I'm a Final Fantasy VII nerd, and it's like one of those things that's like, take my money. But, you know, that's just me. And like the third game actually will be, they didn't show a gameplay trailer. Well, no, yeah, they did actually. It was a new Star Ocean game.
Yes.
As you know, I'm a big RPG game. Well, it's an RPG series.
Fun.
Its own. Is it? It was. I want to say Squeenix. Yeah, I was going to say Square. I don't know why, but it's Squeenix.
They used to be called Square, I believe.
Yeah, and that's why I was getting confused for a second. But yeah, it's Squeenix, and you know,
that's Square Enix.
Yeah,
but,
and it's.
My brain likes to combine words together.
No, I was
so confused. I was like, what?
I know, they're like, what is Squeenix? I know, and I say Squeenix too. But it's a good RPG series, kind of like that line of, you know, how Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, which is another one I'm looking forward to, which is a new one coming. But the Star Ocean is a series that started on Nintendo as well, and they've been continuing for a while. But people thought that they were done with Star Ocean because the last Star Ocean game that came out on PS4 was a dud. Like, it didn't do well. So
A New Hope, I think.
Yeah, A New Hope. Yeah. I think it was either New Hope or Integrity and Faithlessness. It was like...
yeah, I only have Second Story, which I haven't played yet. I was trying to actually play it for YouTube, but it wasn't capturing, which is why I started Alien instead. And a bit of Till the End of Time. That game I really liked, but
yeah, that one's a good one.
Jesus Christ, it will take till the end of time to finish it.
Oh yeah, Star Ocean games
are a long game.
Yeah, Star Ocean games are incredibly long, but they're so good, and this one looks really nice. It looks like it's a more open. Well, I don't care for too many open world games, but it looks more like a kind of a bigger open world. It looks really cool. So yeah, I'm hyped. And then there's Final Fantasy 16. So, you know, those are the ones I'm looking forward to. A lot of RPGs though, which, you know, there's just more for me to go through. But what about you, Gray?
Before I forget, sorry, because when you were talking about Danganronpa, it reminded me of another game that I wanted to play, but actually has an amazing movie adaptation.
Okay.
To go back to movies real quick. Corpse Party.
Oh, I still need to play that.
I have only played
Corpse
a little
Party.
bit, and it was pretty good. The movie is great.
Really?
There's a sequel. I haven't seen the sequel yet, but
I didn't
the
know there was a
movie's
movie.
really good.
Really?
Yeah. Highly recommend.
Movie night.
I really want to play the games. Yeah, it's so good. Like, I was really, really impressed. So that actually, I think, is one of the best video game to movie adaptations.
Okay.
Like,
There is
I
a
loved it.
remake as well.
I'll have to check it out.
The game, there's a 2021 version of Corpse Party.
Well, maybe that's the version I should check out. Yeah, it just it was really fun. But so games that I am looking forward to that are coming out are really funny because it's part of franchises that I haven't actually played yet, but I love watching people play, and I will I will play them myself at some point. But Outlast Trials.
Oh yes, multiplayer. That's something for Ghostbusters night.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So
I'm really excited for that.
So
Oh,
all
yeah.
of us here are on a Twitch team called Ghostbusters. And we play a bunch of spooky games. And last time we played Phasmophobia, we have games to play like Forewarned and In Silence, and maybe some games like Lunch Lady and
Oh,
Devour.
yeah.
And
I play
such.
that.
And there's a Ghostbusters game that's coming out that we all should
Yep.
play.
Yes.
Yeah.
I think there's a VHS game that's like either just came
Yeah.
out or has
Yeah, I
been
want
around
that.
the block. It's free,
Oh,
I think.
what?
I'll have
I'm
to
writing
check
that
it.
down.
Yeah, it's called Video Horror Stories or something.
Yes,
Video or no,
I think it's free on Steam.
it's like Dead by Daylight, but the 80s.
Yeah,
Yes.
and you get to fight
yes!
back against the killer.
Yes.
Yes.
Okay, love that. Yeah.
Yeah, we're
And,
doing that one.
So the Outlast Trials, it's definitely something that we'll probably play together.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Yes.
So you look.
The other one that I'm curious about, the Calypso Project. Protocol. Sorry, the
Let's go
Calypso Protocol.
Yes, the Dead Space
Yes.
like spiritual successor. Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
I've been wanting to play. I started playing Dead Space once, like a couple of years ago. That is, I fear quit. I fear quit that game. I do have Dead Space 1, 2, and 3. I will play them either on YouTube or Twitch. I don't know which one because I don't know how many times I'll die. That kind of dictates like which do I have to edit out all of the deaths or can we suffer through it? But I love the environment. I love the atmosphere, the intensity that they made with those games. So I'm really excited to just see more. It's, there's just something about being in space with aliens that are hostile and want to kill you, and it's space, so you don't really have anywhere to go, that it's just so horrifying. I love it.
So I just looked it up. It's called the Callisto Protocol.
Yeah, I
And,
cannot wait.
yeah.
I recognize the cover, so I think it might have been shown in the recent Summer Games Fest.
Yeah, it was. It was shown at the
Okay.
Games Fest, and I think before that it was shown at, well, not E3 because we haven't had that in a while, but it was like one of the whatever it was, like a year ago or so too. Well, it was kind of announced, but then they actually showed real like gameplay recently, right?
Yeah.
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 I think that was at Summer Games Fest, or at least there was like a more up to date trailer.
Oh yeah, I can't
But,
wait for that's a good one.
And for whatever reason, their box art reminds me of Death Stranding.
Oh
And
yeah.
I don't know why.
Oh,
I
yeah.
looked at it and I was
I
just
can
like,
see
oh,
that.
it kind of looks like Death Stranding. But hopefully it's a better game
Yeah.
than Death Stranding.
Yeah.
I'm so sorry for all of the Death Stranding
I was
fans.
just like,
Apparently the director's cut is a lot better of a game.
Yeah.
that's good. Yeah, I was super pumped for it leading up to it.
I haven't beat Death Stranding yet, but I'm still getting there. I like it though, but yeah. Yeah.
So, yeah,
and-
Another like a not horror one that I that just came across in my newsfeed because of a Kotaku article was, what is it, like Harvestella? So it's like it's kind of like Harvest Moon Stardew Valley, but it looks like a Final Fantasy game. So it's
Oh.
chill. Yeah,
Square
I'm
Enix.
curious.
It's a Square Enix game.
Yeah, I'm very curious.
Oh, okay. Well, I'll
about
definitely have to
it.
check that out if that's. We said Square Enix.
Yeah.
We'll be there.
It's coming out November 4th.
Okay,
nothing-
yeah, I'm intrigued. Granted, the Kotaku article was just like, some of this fruit looks thirsty. Like
Oh,
the
yeah.
icons for peaches and the cucumbers, they were like,
Now,
But the idea of the game of just like, oh, like a really graphically pretty but like chill get like
It's
I'm intrigued. You're combining things I like.
yeah,
right.
it's
That
very
sounds
much
cool.
a full price game.
Well, I wait till the sales.
I'm gonna have to add these. Yeah, I do too. I'm gonna have to add these to a list. I got a whole new list I've got to throw out there.
My Steam wish list.
Mine
You know
is
how
always
Steam
growing.
in the corner gives you like the number of items that's on your wish list?
Oh yeah,
Mine is
Yeah?
mine is in the hundreds.
yeah. Oh god, mine is too.
I think mine's only like 80.
Yeah.
Imagine
I'm
having
gonna-
that
I bought
self-control.
so many of them.
Right.
Oh no, it's because I have like over 100 in my unplayed because those stupid Steam sales come along and they're just
Oh
like,
my
here
God.
are these
Oh,
games you really
yeah.
like for only
Oh,
like
for
a
sure.
couple of dollars, and I'm like,
There's Steam sales
make
all
me
the time.
poor.
There's like
And
at
it-
least like one big one like every few months.
Yeah.
It's like the
Oh,
summer
yeah.
There
Steam
was one
sale
that just happened and I
Yeah.
bought 3 more.
Yeah. I got, I think like 4 or 5, because I picked up Ni no Kuni Revenant Kingdom, and I picked up Lone Fungus, which Lone Fungus is a game that I have watched grow, and I watched it through its Kickstarter and such. It's a Metroidvania, but you are a mushroom.
Oh wow.
I think I've
Nice.
heard of
That
this.
sounds
It's
cute.
very, very sweet.
Now
I
that
picked up a bunch of little Metroidvanias and such.
now really quick, I will give you guys 2 games from my Steam list to put on yours if you guys want to check them out. And one's a horror, and I recently streamed it. Which, Gray, you know what I'm talking about. It was horror Paranormal HK. Which
Oh yeah,
Oh.
yes, that's on my wish list. I need to get that game.
yeah, beautiful game. I think it's really cheap. I literally got it for like $1. So it's but I don't know if it's like that now. I don't know if it was on sale. I didn't really check. But I played it entirely like in a different language, which I didn't know that it changes, and you can change it to English because when you start the game, it's not in English. So
Japanese, isn't it?
I think it
Well,
was
Hong Kong.
yeah,
so-
yeah.
Oh, Chinese.
Well, yeah, Hong Kong, yeah. So, but I didn't know, like, you know, since I could read it, I didn't know that all the options were like, you know what I mean? I had to look it up online to figure out how to change it. So, but it's a fun game. I recommend it. It's really good. And then the second one, because if you like Metroidvanias, and I know you do, Baka,
I do.
if you don't have it already, one of my favorites right now is called Skull, the Hero Slayer.
Yes. I want you to know that about 8 months or so ago, that was my hyper focus game. And let me just pull up my Steam just here. So you know how there's like bosses and like the end or so and so of each area.
Yeah.
So I've done I don't know if I've done the last one hitless, but I've done most of them hitless.
So you've been already through that game.
That game is a very, very lovely and sweet game.
Oh, it's a beautiful game. I love the concept of you can change your appearance and strength by this certain skulls that you get.
Yeah. And apparently,
Like
not
that.
very long ago, they added more skulls.
Really, I haven't played it in a long while. Like I haven't gotten as far as you could by the long shot. But I loved it because yeah, like depending on the skull you put on, like you change your appearance, and it's really dope. I highly recommend that one if you haven't played Skull. Yeah, definitely probably one of my favorite Metroidvanias, and I'll have to send you a whole list of the other Metroidvanias that I have, Baka, because I have
Absolutely.
some that are like I have a lot that are like kind of like story connected, and some that are just different. So I'll send you quite a few of them that I have.
Thank you.
But what do you guys recommend on your Steam list?
Oh,
Oh.
see, I guess my immediate option is a game that I kind of get everybody to play is Hollow Knight. Because, like, as much as, yeah, it does have a reputation in saying that it's
I
difficult.
love Hollow Knight.
Like, a lot of people are like, this is a difficult game. Yes, but you get used to it. It's like, it's more so the beginning portions of, like, kind of knowing what the physics are. But you do get used to it, and it is a very rich game. It's a game where it doesn't like force its story or its lore like down your throat. Like you kind of have to want to know about it and like to seek it out. Like you can get through the game without learning like like more than 5% of the lore.
Yeah, I love that game. Hollow Knight is really good. I haven't finished that either. Don't hate me. But
Oh no, that's totally fine. That is completely fair.
But it is difficult, but it is fun. I like difficult. It's cool.
A recent one, and by recent I mean I think came out like last week or the week before, Stray.
Oh God, I want that so
Stray
bad.
is a short game. It'll take you
Is it?
probably somewhere between 4 and 8 hours to get through.
Oh, it's that short?
Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't know it was that
it's
short.
Very,
Oh.
very short. If you're a better
Wow.
gamer than I, probably a little bit less time. But it's very good. You can meow, and that was the selling point. I'm gonna be honest.
That is definitely a selling point.
And I would say if you've been thinking of picking it up, it's worth it.
Yeah, that looks so. And
It's
like I said, in
worth it.
Grey Nose, I'm not like not like a big cat person, but I love that. I want to play it.
We'll say for the horror fans among us, about the midway portion of the game, there's a segment that is very gross, and very like, oh, I didn't know this had horror elements to it. So, that's definitely where I was like, oh, this is a
Yeah.
game that I can recommend to all of my friends, actually.
I was watching a video on like the realism of the game. They were like, besides the dedicated meow button, like you can knock stuff off of off of shelves and things like cats do. You can
So good.
yeah, you can like you can rub up against people's legs like they do
Yeah,
and like all that stuff. Like they and you can put your head in like bags and like all kinds of stuff. They just like added so much stuff into it. It's really cute. Like I really want to play the game.
To I guess continue on with my reign of Metroidvanias in this episode. Both of the Ori games are an amazing experience. The second one mechanically improves on a lot that the first game did annoy me a little bit. Like the first game is very much like you have to manually save this, and sometimes you cannot save because saving is a mechanic in the game. Not like there is like of course I think maybe like little autosave parts, but for the most part it's you have to manually save, or if you die you will go back to the last time that you saved and have to do everything including collecting whatever you collected again. And that it was like I was not very keen on that, mostly because I forget to save, which you'd think Animal Crossing would have told me otherwise.
I cannot understand that. I'm save scum all the time. I mean, you guys have seen me play games where I will literally go into a save room, save, change my inventory, and immediately save again. Like, because I'm just like, well, if I die, I don't have to reset my inventory now. So like, I save all the time.
See, it's the great thing about Ori is that it really kind of immerses you so much that like you can just die out, like not necessarily out of nowhere, but like if you like enter some combat and like you like ricochet a little bit, then there it is. It's gone. There's God, it'll be like an older clip on my Twitch now. It might still be in my raid video. I don't remember, but it's like I was doing great. I was just kind of like making my way slowly around these obstacles, and then like I take a little bit of damage, get to the bottom, then there's like a hanging spider there that just shoots some projectiles at me, and I am dead. But like this is in the second game, so I was like, everything's fine. There's autosave. But Ori's great, and oh god, I say for my last pick, although I haven't finished it, Outer Wilds is honestly probably one of the best games I've played in like the last few years. 'Cause like it's I can't say anything because like it's one of those games where you kind of have to go into it like blind because it's just it it's so good. And also the soundtrack, Andrew Pralo. He did an amazing job. I've covered, I think, 3 of the soundtrack, and I haven't even finished the game. Like, I was like, I have to do this immediately because they're stuck in my mind. And it was actually my study soundtrack for the last semester, which is my last semester of university. So that soundtrack got me through my deadlines.
Yeah, Outer Wilds looks insane. I was just looking it up because
so
I was like, I don't think I've heard of this, and then I'm looking at
it's
it. That
so
looks
good.
incredible.
For
It
anybody
does
that
look really nice.
has Game Pass on either PC or on Xbox, it is on there. Um, but I would recommend it. Apparently, the DLC adds more horror elements. But I don't know much about the DLC. I don't know if it's like once you buy it that it's integrated into the main game and you just find things, or if it's like a once you've finished whatever like whatever the finishing point in the game is, then it like switches over to DLC. I don't know what it is, but apparently it adds a lot of horror elements, and I'm very scared about that. Cause so far, yeah, there's like a couple of things where I've been like, because I play this in a voice chat with a friend who is absolutely obsessed with the game. And, like, there's been a few times where I've paused and I've been like, is there something going to hurt me here? Tell me right now. Because there's like one part where like you're like like going through your mode of transport and like going to like a place, and then you're just kind of like plunged in, and I was just like, I wasn't expecting this, because he in this voice chat was like, oh, just keep going, you'll be fine, like like you don't need to really slow down when you're like entering this planet. I was just like, why? I played No Man's Sky. What? Why? And I was just like, oh, you'll see. And then I'm just like, oh, I did in fact see. Am I gonna get hurt here? Tell me right now. um, Great game. I don't even know if I'm halfway through it. Yeah, it seems like a game that's gonna take a very long time. But it's very like explore, like it's explore, find out the game. It's like fuck around and find out the game.
I recommend. I mean, my favorite franchise, and it is they do have the one game on Steam. Fatal Frame, Maiden of Blackwater. Highly recommend. It's just so good. I love them. I love them so much. For a less for like not horror and maybe not as well known game that I was surprised how much I loved this game, and it was so fun and so funny. But the Dark Side Detectives
Oh
Oh, I
yeah,
watched
was
you play
so
those.
those are
good.
cute. Yeah,
Yes,
actually,
they were so
I
cute. They were so funny. They were so good. Like
yeah.
I still haven't bought the sequel. I need to get the sequel, but like, oh my gosh, that was a really good game.
So I looked up the second game just there because I was like, oh, I don't think I have that on my wish list. So their box art for it just has like a shadow of Cthulhu in the background, and I'm just like, amazing. This is the game.
It's
Oh,
so
Me
man.
as somebody,
good.
I have like a rubber hose art style Cthulhu tattooed on my leg. So I was like, this is great. Lovecraftian, I'll take it.
Oh
Heck
yeah, another
yes.
that's pretty cool though. I need to get the Dark Side Detective. I did like that because I watched you play that one. And I
Yeah,
watched some great
I
play.
was shocked. I like I when I got it, I was just like, oh, this looks like pretty good. Like yeah, it'll be fun. And like within an hour, I was like, oh, this is amazing. This is really good.
And that's what's cool because, like I said, my type of genre of games are different from, and you know, like a lot of the 2D and like those type of games I normally don't play. But when I see them played by someone else, or they seem, or you know, and I end up liking them, like, okay, yeah, I've got to play that. I've got to check that out for sure. Because there are games out there, yeah, I tell you, 100%, I'm not going to play this game. It looks so blah, but then I end up enjoying the mess out of it.
So I have one that neither of us mentioned that just popped into my head.
What?
Alice Wonders Returns.
Oh my
yeah,
god.
yeah.
Oh my
There
god.
you go.
Well, yeah. Well, wait. Well, that's not on Steam. Were we specifically doing Steam? Who cares? Go get Alice Madness Returns.
It is
The version
Yeah.
that comes with the original American Mickey's
Just ask the game.
Alice.
so
Just get it. Just get it.
if you are
and the
on
new one that's
PC,
coming out.
If you're on PC, I believe you can play it on Origin. If
Yes.
not, it is another game that's on Game Pass, and the version on Game Pass you can play the original. And I believe you're just about
so
to go
good.
and mention Alice Asylum.
Wait, do we have a release
No,
guess for it
we
yet?
don't.
Okay, I
But,
didn't think so.
American McGee does have a Patreon, and he, of course, gives updates on Patreon. And there's there's tiers where you can get stuff like Cheshire Cat plush, and I think some other plush that would be related to the game. And there's one too where it's just like you'd have your name and like I think it'd be like a train station in the game. And I think there's been like a gameplay footage released. I don't remember. I have like I have this Google Drive full of like stuff from American McGee. like
Wow.
I do not remember, but no, we don't have a
I need
release
to look
yet.
at that.
Yeah, there you
I
go.
want to get. I think there's a bunny plush that I really want.
Yes,
Now,
yeah, the bunny.
Now, one game I didn't mention either, and I'm just going to mention it for both, but I know since it's a Metroidvania, if you have not played it, especially Baka, Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
I have it.
Yeah,
I got it.
it's on my wish list.
I got it a few months ago. I haven't opened it yet, but it was a game that was on my wish list for like at least a year. Like
What makes the
at
game
very
so
least.
special? See, and that's what makes the game so special is that it was created by someone who actually worked on Symphony of the Night.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
Because
if I remember
I
so.
thought it was like a spiritual successor, but I
It
didn't
is,
know
it
they were
is.
that closely connected.
Yeah, if I
awesome.
remember, I don't hold me to this. I'm not like completely accurate, but one of the guys that was making the game, yeah, he was someone that worked on Symphony of the Night. If you can see the similarities to it, if you you know the part in Symphony of the Night where he's like, "What is a man?" and he like throws the glass, like that part's literally in the game,
Oh,
like
really?
in Bloodstained. There's a lot of Symphony of the Night like things in this game, and it's incredible.
I'm so much more excited to play this game. I was already very excited. Like, I was like looking out for so long because I know there's people that like well trade Steam keys. Like, if you have like Steam keys, you can just like
Yeah.
trade Steam keys with somebody else. I was looking for so long for just somebody that was like had like Bloodstained Ritual of the Night just on their list. I'd be like, please, do you want any of my games? Please want. Please.
Oh yeah. It's definitely but yeah, it's let me see. I'm trying to think of the guy's name. Koji Igarashi, I think. I'm butchering his name, but yeah, I think that's the
If
guy.
you spell it, I can say it. Maybe.
I'm sorry.
Oh, if you can spell it.
So Igarashi. I'm pretty.
Wait, sorry. IGAR. What?
Igarashi.
Oh, Igarashi.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah.
So yeah, Koji Igarashi, yeah, he's the guy. If I was reading, it says it's a spiritual successor to the series by Konami, which Koji Igarashi has been the series producer from 2001 to 2010. So yeah, that guy's the one that did Bloodstained Ritual of the Night.
Damn.
So yeah, I definitely play it. It's a great game if you haven't. And later on, I'll send this to you too, Baka, but there's another game that connects Bloodstained together. It's another Metroidvania, but I can't remember what it's called at the moment. But
I'm very interested in that.
I highly recommend. It's very hard. Ritual of the Night is a very difficult game, though. It can be anyway.
I
And it
bet.
has David Hayter, so
Oh, really?
Go play it. Yeah, David Hayter is one of the characters in the game, so definitely, do that because David Hayter's awesome.
Speaking of Bloodstained, one of my favorite games is a game called Blasphemous. And
Yes, I have that.
Blasphemous did a DLC that included, I don't remember their name, but the main character that you play from Bloodstained.
Yeah, Miriam.
And yes. And I love that. I love how like close knit the indie community can be.
I do too. I really love stuff like that when they do crossovers and like things like that. It's really cool, and that's the
Like-
reason why I got Blasphemous was because of Miriam.
Like Dead Cells is like that. Like Dead Cells makes reference to so many indie games. Like there's a Hollow Knight reference in there as well. And I believe there's a Shovel Knight reference in Blasphemous as well.
Blasphemous, yeah, I have not played through it yet.
Oh, it's so good.
I'll have to check it out. I've got all you guys' recommendations, all the games we talked about today. I've got a growing list now. I've got a
So many games. So many games, so little time.
I know.
I do want to. I realized one of my favorite games is also on Steam, and I feel like I need to do a shout out. Deadly Premonition.
Oh,
why
yes.
do I recognize
I
that?
love that game.
That is
it's so weird. It's Twin Peaks, the video game.
Yeah, pretty much.
It is so good and so goofy, and I love it. I love that game so much. That was in college. I joined a video game club, and the first thing I ever went to was them playing that game, and I was like, what is this? And it was like such a bonding moment that now that is like forever will be one of my absolute favorite games. The creator, Swery65, is like really cool. I made back in college. It's still so I have a Redbubble store.
Oh.
I made really, really crappy Deadly Premonition themed stuff.
Oh,
It still sells. I still sell that stuff. Swery found it. And it's just like, oh yeah, this is definitely like stuff I made based on your game. What was his reaction? He bought stuff!
Oh!
Wow.
He bought some of my crappy merch and tried to get me to like commission me to make a thing. And I tried and it sucked. But it's like he's so cool
That's
and so
awesome.
sweet. I love this man. Protect this man.
Yes. Yes.
He's so cool. And he loves his fans. Like he is like super responsive and appreciative. Like if you guys watched the new Mega 64 DBZ, he's one of the guys who's making the cameo. I freaked out. Like everyone
wow.
was like, "Oh my god, Kojima!" I was like, "That's cool," but Swery.
Now there's
That's my man. He's
a
great.
Deadly Premonition Part 2 that I'm looking at here on Steam
There
as well.
is.
Yeah.
I have not played it yet, so that's a recent thing. It used to just be on the Switch. They recently ported it to
Amazing.
Steam. I have not played it yet. It didn't get great reviews. But yeah, but I don't care. I want to play literally everything he's made. I've played D4, which was one of his games. I played, oh my god, what was it called? Oh my god, it was the shooter on PS2. What's the actual name? Because I jokingly referred to it as the Holy Bible forever.
Oh my god.
Insert name of the game here. And the missing, the story of like JJ Macfield. I have it. I just haven't played it yet. And The Good Life I also have not played yet. When I say that I love this man and I want to play every single game he's ever made, I'm not lying.
Well, it's cool when you find people in games like that. That's how I feel about like anything Fatal Frame. I would play every Fatal Frame, like to the point to where you guys. I don't know if you guys remember, but to the point to where I went and I got a Nintendo DS so I could play Camera Obscura.
No.
I've been trying to find that game for reasonable. I want to play it so badly.
Oh god, I don't remember much of it, but yeah, it was just it turns your DS into a Camera Obscura, and you find ghosts around your house or wherever you're at, pretty much. But yeah, the game was hella awesome. I mean, it was in that hype of Fatal Frame, because like Fatal Frame was starting to gain like some traction at that time, and yeah, the DS game was so fun. And I never actually like really fully played through it. I don't even remember what happened to the DS, my DS that I had. But yeah, if you
gotta find that.
I have to find that. I would love to play that again. That was.
You should, and then send it to me so that I can play it, and then I'll send it back. I won't keep it. I just really want to. Play
I will do that. I promise. If I found it, I would definitely send it to you. It was really fun. But that's how I found. But that's how I feel about Fatal Frame. Like that's my favorite series of all times. One of my favorites, and it's like something like any Fatal Frame game that comes out. I hope they make more. I hope we get a Fatal Frame 6 or whatever they choose to do.
Have you guys played Dark Deception?
Why does this sound familiar?
Why do I know that? Right? Yeah, that sounds so familiar.
It's an indie game, and it's coming out in technically in parts, but it's like all like the same game.
I just looked it up, and I don't like the way the.
Oh,
Yeah.
yes. I remember the monkey.
So it's in chapters essentially. So it's 4 chapters out of 5, and each chapter has like a different thing. Like chapter 1 is you're in a hotel and you're being chased by monkeys. But you're playing as this character. He's a dude, and quite frankly, he wasn't a good guy. Wasn't a good guy.
Mm,
And you're going
mm.
around these levels, and you're collecting like purple crystals essentially, and so
As one does.
yeah, as one does, yeah. I actually collected 30 today. Um,
Oh,
yeah,
oh.
it's a personal best actually. But so first level, you're a monkey. Second level, however, you are in a school, and
Oh
you're
wow.
being chased by this girl called Agatha, and like. I don't know if you guys have seen the artist from Dead by Daylight, like like long hands, long like oily black
Oh yeah,
hands.
I'm looking at it right now. Yeah,
Yeah,
she looks
do
pretty.
be. She do
Wait,
be very scary.
I need to. I am in. Yes,
Yeah,
I
I want that.
love distended arms and long fingers. I
Yeah,
think that they are so fun and creepy. Like I
they are
think the
creepy.
Lizzie in Alice Madness Return.
Yes.
I love
Oh
Lizzie's
yeah,
design.
that is yeah, it is definitely
Oh, I
those
hate
are.
it.
She is. Ooh, she's very pretty.
Oh, Beers is the character with the white hair. The character that we talk to, because there's Beers and there's Malik, and they're both at like opposite ends of like what each other wants essentially. Um, and chapter 3 is the one that made a lot of people quit. Because you start out in like the courtyard of a mansion, and it's kind of like a hedge labyrinth. Um, and then you go into the mansion afterwards, but you're being chased with by like what I can describe as the Weeping Angels from Doctor Who.
Oh
Yeah,
yeah.
those
Uh,
were in Witcher 3.
uh, there
Sorry,
you go.
Easter egg.
um, and it made a lot of people stop playing because it's very very hard. Okay, so
Yeah,
I think that might be us for today.
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah, for sure.
that sounded good. Well, thank you guys so much for tuning in. If you guys are interested in seeing more, we have links to our socials and our YouTube and Twitches, our personal ones listed down below. We also have some videos here and over here that you can click if you are interested. And thank you guys so much for tuning in, and we will see you guys next time. Bye!
Bye.
See ya.